Muletrain!
And it is time now for the Muletrain News Program on this Friday, June the 12th, 2015. Brought to you today by the First Bank, along with Leal's Mexican Restaurant.
At the top of the Muletrain News this weekend is our weather. In Muleshoe on Thursday, we experienced the hottest day of this year so far. The high was officially 95, the low 64, and on Friday morning it was 64 degrees at that time. The day before it was cooler, with a high of 88 degrees and a low of 64 on June the 11th. And now, 5 Area Telephone West Plains Telecommunications brings you the weather forecast for Muleshoe, Sudan, Amherst, Earth, and our entire area. But first, a message from our sponsor.
5 Area Telephone West Plains Telecommunications, located right here in Muleshoe at 302 Uvalde Street. Call them at 806-272-5533. They offer phone and internet. Check them out online at www.5area.com. And looking at our weather forecast, an upper-level storm system will slowly approach the South Plains Panhandle areas this afternoon, bringing increasing thunderstorms, particularly by Friday afternoon and evening. Additional rounds of showers and storms will be possible through the weekend into early next week. These storms will be capable of dropping very heavy rain, with some spots receiving several inches of rain before all is said and done. The National Weather Service out of Lubbock looks at the Muleshoe area at probably getting around 1.5 inches before the weekend is over. Looking at our forecast for Muleshoe for today on Friday, a chance of thunderstorms after 1 p.m. Some storms could be severe. Partly sunny otherwise with a high near 80 degrees, so it will be much cooler today on Friday. Northeast winds around 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain is 40%. A chance of thunderstorms tonight. Some storms could be severe, mostly cloudy, low around 62. Chance of rain is 40%. On Saturday, starting our weekend, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, low, high around 82 degrees, low Saturday night around 63. 50% chance of rain on Saturday evening as well. Sunday, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny, high near 85 degrees. Sunday night, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, low around 64. Monday, another 50% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, high near 81. Monday night, again, rain chances, mostly cloudy, low around 63. Tuesday, continuing our rain chances, partly sunny, high near 81. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms Tuesday evening, partly cloudy with a low around 62. So a little bit cooler here over the next several days, but rain chances abound on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday into Tuesday for the Muleshoe area. The National Weather Service out of Lubbock is calling for about 1.5 inches of rain for Muleshoe in our vicinity. 5 Area Telephone West Plains Telecommunications has presented to you this edition of the weather forecast.
Former Bailey County Judge Don Seock, 83 years of age, died on May the 27th. He was born January the 3rd, 1932, and is survived by his wife of the home in Tucumcari and a daughter, Kelly Meeks, of Waxahachie. Of course, Kelly was reared here, a graduate of Muleshoe High School. And the Seocks lived here in Muleshoe in the 1970s, and he was a lawyer. Repeating, former Bailey County Judge Don Seock, 83 years of age, of Tucumcari, died May the 27th. Please remember all of the Seock family in your prayers. The memorial service for Claudine Elliott, 91 years of age, of Muleshoe, was held Friday morning at 11 in the First Baptist Church of Muleshoe, where she was a member for 58 years. Dr. Stacy Connor, her pastor, was officiating at that service, and the service was under the direction of Ellie's Funeral Home of Muleshoe. You can go online to send a sympathy message to the Elliott family at www.ellisfuneralhomes.com. Claudine was a native Texan born in Wellington, March the 21st, 1924, to Mr. and Mrs. Freeman Melton. She had lived in Wellington, Memphis, Littlefield, and Tulia before moving in 1957 to Muleshoe, where her husband was associated with the First National Bank, now known as the First Bank of Muleshoe. Claudine was preceded in death by her husband, Harmon, and her parents, Freeman and Sudie Melton of Wellington, her sister, Moselle Ham of Beeville, and her brothers, Conrad of Melton of Amarillo and Freeman Melton Jr. of Freona. Survivors are 2 loving children, a daughter, Judy Cloud, and her husband, Curtis, of Fulshire, Texas, that's in the Houston area, and John Freeman Elliott and his wife, Nancy, of Lubbock. Also surviving are 5 grandchildren and their spouses, Jennifer, Andrew Scott of Dallas, Jill and Brian McCorkdale of Fort Worth, Avery and Eric Cunningham of Lubbock, Curry and Jack Hildebrand of Grapevine, Bailey and A.J. Allegretto of Lubbock. There are also 9 great-grandchildren that filled her life with joy. Riley and Will Scott, Gus McCorkdale, Cade and Caleb Cunningham, Hudson and Hazel Hildebrand, and Evelyn and Clara Allegretto. Claudine Elliott was the oldest living member of the Muleshoe Ladies Golf Association at the time of her death Monday. Her last round of golf was played when she was 87 years young. Claudine was known by her grandchildren and great-grandchildren lovingly as Nana. She will always be remembered by numerous family and friends for her beauty inside and out, her delightful sense of humor, her extraordinary love and care of her family, and of course, her love for the game of golf. She was named one of the best-dressed women of Muleshoe a number of years ago, and that indeed she was. She was an exceptional caregiver to her husband Harmon in the many years that he suffered after a stroke. In lieu of flowers, you are asked to make memorials to either the Muleshoe Memorial Park Cemetery, Post Office Box 373, here in Muleshoe, or the First Baptist Church of Muleshoe, 220 West Avenue E, and the zip code in Muleshoe is 79347. Please remember all of the family of Claudine Elliott, 91 of Muleshoe, in your prayers. And of course, please remember her children, Judy and John. The Muleshoe City Council will have a special meeting on Monday evening at 6:30 in the council chambers of City Hall to consider the old airport land lease and the well field land lease. There will be a budget workshop for 2015-16 budget, and they will also discuss recruitment process for a new city manager, as David Brunson later this year will be retiring. In administrative reports, a movie in the park will be shown every 3rd Thursday this summer in June, July, and August, and that will be next Thursday evening, the first movie in the park in the new city park here. The mayor and city council members will give closing remarks at this special meeting of the Muleshoe City Council Monday evening at 6:30 at the council chambers. We're so glad to report that David Gallman came home Thursday from Trust Point in Lubbock, where he was being treated for a stroke, and he has done remarkably well in a short period of time, and we are so grateful. And so that is a prayer of thanksgiving. But David Gallman and his wife Leanne and their family all continue to be on our prayer list. Welcome home, David Gallman. Also welcome home to 10-year-old Hannah Simmons, who is now at home here in Muleshoe. She and her mother flew home from Houston on Tuesday. So this is homecoming week for several of our prayer list names. Her grandparents, Mike and Jean Richardson of Muleshoe, also are coming home to Muleshoe. They have been there in Houston these past many weeks with Hannah and her mother, Misty. Little Hannah is the daughter of Scott and Misty Simmons of Muleshoe and a Mary DeShazo Elementary School student. She has been ill now for the past year. Please continue to remember Hannah Simmons and all of her family in your prayers. And we'll be back with more Muletrain news in just one moment, so please stay tuned.
Show your school spirit now with the First Bank School Spirit MasterCard debit card, available now at the First Bank here in Muleshoe, 202 South First Street, 806-272-4515. Show your team spirit and earn cash for your school every time you swap your card. Available now for the Muleshoe Mules, Dimmitt Bobcats, or Bovina Mustangs. Again, call 806-272-4515 or go by 202 South First Street right here in Muleshoe. The School Spirit MasterCard debit cards available for the Muleshoe Mules, Dimmitt Bobcats, or Bovina Mustangs today. The First Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender. The First Bank, along with Leal's Mexican Restaurant, presents you this edition of the Muletrain News.
Chips are delicious. Have you been wasting time looking for a good meal? Well, go to Leal's Mexican Restaurant in Muleshoe at 1010 West American Boulevard and try the Irma's Special. If you are under 12, try the grilled cheese. You know Leal's in Muleshoe is the original Leal's Mexican Restaurant. I highly recommend it. 5 generations of our family have eaten at Leal's. What did you say, Isla? Chips are delicious.
Well, it's Be Kind to Sam Gonzalez weekend, because on June the 12th is Sam Gonzalez's birthday, and his family wants to say a big happy birthday to Sam Gonzalez of Muleshoe. And the Muleshoe ISD is going to lose a very fine elementary teacher, as Mindy Hevington is going to be moving this summer to Lubbock, where she will teach in the elementary schools there in the Lubbock ISD. We wish Mindy Hevington the very best in her move to Lubbock. She says she has enjoyed so much starting her educational profession here in the Muleshoe schools. Well, last week, Robert and I and Sharon Johnson had a wonderful week, Tuesday through Sunday, in Bryan with Peyton, my son, and Robert's brother, and his family, Alicia and their daughters, Julia and Isla. One of the highlights for me was I got to go with Julia and Isla, who are now 10 and 5, to a ballet. It was presented by the Brazos Ballet Troupe, and there was the most delightful Carnival of the Animals presentation by the ballet. And if you ever get to take children to the Carnival of the Animals, you must go. This little boy is quite a rounder. You've known some like that. You know, Rusty Whitt used to be one, and he's turned out to be one of the finest Muleshoe area farmers. And So there's hope for that little boy in the ballet. He goes with his schoolmaster and his schoolmates to the museum. But he gets sidetracked. Can't you just see Rusty Whit getting sidetracked when he was about 5 or 10 or 15 years of age? And he winds up in the room that is marked for repairs. And all of the animals come alive in there while he is taking a long nap. But he identifies with all of these animals, and I think one of the cutest is the mothers in his neighborhood and the children. And the mothers are mother hens, and the little chicks are following them all around. It is just adorable. And I would advise you always to take time and spend time with maybe a neighbor who is lonely or an elderly person that needs just a little bit of your time, or children who might not have the opportunity to go to something like Shrek or another performance of a musical or a movie, or just maybe taking them to the swimming pool this summer. That reminds me, the pool is open in the Muleshoe Water Park in our new city park, but remember to slip, slap, and slop. Be sure to slip on a cap and a shirt, especially in the heat of the day. I think it's from 11 to 3 or something like that. And slop on sunscreen always. And always be aware that you need to reapply that sunscreen every couple of hours, and be sure that it is waterproof if you're going near the water, like a beach, an ocean, or a river or a lake or the pool this summer. That is from the American Cancer Society. Now, we also, while we were gone to Bryan, had a wonderful visit to Washington on the Brazos. The first thing that met us was a statue of Childress. Well, I said, who is Childress? You know, I know Texas history, I think, but I guess I didn't. Childress came with a satchel to the writing of the Texas independence from Mexico. And he had already in his satchel a draft for Texas independence. That's who Childress is. And I'm sure Childress, Texas, who we know very well right here in our immediate area. Well, it's not immediate, but I guess the UIL thinks it is, that it's named for. Also, we went across to the Brazos River. We did the whole trek, and it was so wonderful. Yes, it was humid, and yes, it was hot, and I walked every step of the way. Also, we went to Anson Jones' working farm that is located adjacent to Washington on the Brazos, where the Texas independence was written. Now, you know, that meant that Texas became the Republic of Texas. And Anson Jones was one of the presidents of the Republic of Texas. And they actually grow corn there and okra and other crops that Anson Jones and his family would have grown when they were living here in Texas. And they slaughter a pig every once in a while, and they have a house where they hang the meat up to dry, and they cook this, and on Saturdays they actually serve what they have grown there or produced there on the farm. And they take their corn over to Waco, where a company actually grinds the corn free of charge, and this is all provided through the Texas Parks and Recreation. And the people who actually work on that farm actually plant the crops and take care of the animals. And there were slaves on this farm. And there are a couple of slave quarters there that have been rebuilt. Now, the family of Anson Jones' home is actually been moved to this farm. And these people who work there, and they're dressed in period costumes. I saw 4 of them, 2 men and 2 women. And it was hot, and the women wore those long dresses. And I was sweating, and they were sweating, and we all were sweating. But it was a wonderful experience. They are employees, the people who work on that farm of the Texas Parks and Recreation. We want to say a big happy 96th birthday to Ruby Green of Muleshoe. She was born on June the 6th of 1919, and she has lived most of her life right here in Muleshoe and reared her family. A happy belated 96th birthday to you, Ruby Green. Also, congratulations to Mr. and Ms. Fred Clements on their June 15th wedding anniversary coming up next Monday. And, of course, Joyce Clements is on our prayer list as she is a resident of the Parkview Nursing Care Center. Remember Fred and Joyce Clements and their family all in your prayers. Also, a big happy birthday on Saturday to Sherry Harrison. And on next Monday, it's Marshall Cook Day, too. And as I've already told you, on Friday, June the 12th, Sam Gonzalez celebrated his birthday. I hope that you are enjoying Meet Your Neighbor, brought to you by United Supermarket. It is an extraordinary program where we interview Joe Adams of Houston, son of Margaret Adams of Muleshoe and the late J.K. Adams. Joe is a Muleshoe High School graduate, and he tells about he and his wife, Gail, who are Houston architects, creating 2 homes in the hill country of Texas near Fredericksburg and Kerrville along the Pedernales, and how they came to actually decide where to place these 2 homes of retired Dallas doctors. I think you'll really enjoy it. Well, we didn't enjoy the end of the Littlefield and West baseball game in the state semifinals in Round Rock Wednesday night because our Littlefield Wildcats from our district lost that game, but they certainly started out with a bang, and we're proud of them for getting to state the first time in Littlefield High School baseball history, and I'm sure they'll be back because most of their team is from the underclasses of Littlefield High School. Good luck to them in the future, too. But, of course, good luck to the Muleshoe Mules always. Well, we'll be back with more Muletrain news, and we're going to tell you about the devotional that a former resident of Muleshoe has written in the upper room.
Williams General Store right here in Muleshoe, 1405 West American Boulevard, where Rogers now carrying Nakona boots. They are the largest manufacturer of Western bootwear, custom craftwork, and beautiful styles now available at Williams General Store here in Muleshoe. Again, 1405 West American Boulevard. They're also carrying the college boots line of Nakona boots. They can get your boots with the logo for UT, Texas Tech, TCU, Baylor, Texas A&M, OU, Oklahoma State, and many others. Go in and talk to Roger at Williams General Store today. new marquee LED metal art, which is lit up with light bulbs in the full alphabet, now available at Williams General Store. Lots of new benches and a new line of Sanuk sandals available now. 1405 West American Boulevard. Like them on Facebook, facebook.com/Williams General Store. The swing bed program is now available at the Muleshoe Area Medical Center, 708 South 1st Street, for the patient who is no longer in need of acute medical care but is not yet comfortable functioning independently at home. Call for more information today, 806-272-4524. The Muleshoe Area Medical Center now has the swing bed program available.
In the May and June 2015 Upper Room, that is a devotional book that has a devotion for each day. For Saturday, June the 13th, the devotion is written by Pat Watson, a former longtime resident of Muleshoe, Mrs. W.T. Watson, who now lives with her husband in Weatherford in retirement. And Pat Watson is a retired Muleshoe High School beloved English and creative writing teacher. And this is what Pat writes. As our music group, Joyful Noise, began practicing a new song, I could not seem to get the correct rhythm. With a degree in music education, I rarely have problems reading music, and we all know that. Why now? Reading the words, I realized that the new song was actually an old one. In the new version, however, the words were set to a rhythm rather than I did not know, rather than being familiar, the simple 4/4 beat I had played for years and years since I was a little girl. Even though I could read the music, I kept slipping back into the familiar beat. This experience reminded me of how difficult change can be. Our church is currently experiencing change as our much-beloved pastor of 8 years assumes responsibility for a new congregation, and we prepare to welcome a new pastor. I'm sure she's writing this in about the time that Monty Lavelle moved to New Mexico and Mindy McClanahan came to Muleshoe. Although we want to hold on to what we know and love, we need to open our hearts to what God has in store for us. In his final sermon to our congregation, our pastor admonished us to press on. We honor him and our Lord as we press on under new leadership. The only constant any of us has is the promise that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Hebrews 13:8. Circumstances may change, but Christ's message remains the same. And she used from Paul this Bible verse. I press on toward the goal for the prize of the heavenly call of God in Christ Jesus. Philippians 3:14. The thought for the day, Pat Watson writes, God will lead us through changing seasons. And the prayer, Dear God, help us to release the past and go forth. In Jesus' name, amen. And that was written in the Saturday, June 13th devotion. Adjusting to Change is the title by Pat Watson. She asks you to read Isaiah 42:5-10. The prayer focus is on churches facing change. And you know, in these times, I think we all have a lot of change in our life, because just think of the changes in our family and our business in the last year, 5 years, and in our country in the past 20 years. It is staggering to think. I was at the doctor just recently, and the doctor said, now this test you're going to have probably won't even be the same test when you have it in 5 more years, because they will have changed it so very much, and it will be so much simpler. Every Monday during this month of June, 2-year-old children through kindergarten are urged to come to the Muleshoe Area Public Library for story time and the summer reading program from 10:30 until 11, that 30 minutes on every Monday morning. Now, you need to register your children for Vacation Bible School now at the First Baptist Church of Muleshoe. Call the church office 806-272-4224 or go by 220 West Avenue E. You enter the office on West 3rd Street and pre-register by next Wednesday. Vacation Bible School at First Baptist Church will be every morning, Monday, June the 22nd through Thursday, June the 25th from 9 till noon. And you can register late on Monday, June the 22nd at 8:30. The theme, Journey Off the Map, Unknown to Us, Known to God. The Bailey County Relay for Life raised $54,799.81 for the American Cancer Society last week here in Muleshoe. The community coverage by KCBD TV station Channel 11 out of Lubbock will come to Muleshoe on July the 22nd. The Reverend Mindy McClanahan, pastor of the First United Methodist Church of Muleshoe, and Sally Messenger, a lay leader of the church, attended the Northwest Texas United Methodist Church's annual conference in Lubbock this week. On our prayer list, please remember Harper Lee Kirby, that's the little baby, and Ronnie Locke. He is now in the hospital. He formerly lived here, and he is the brother of Donna Locker of Muleshoe. Remember Ronnie Locke and all of his family. Mary Nell Bleeker, Aline Bryant, Helen Free, Buck and Carolyn Johnson, Jane Reeder, Gary Morris, Billy Wilton. He is the father in Fort Sumner of Donna J. of Muleshoe. Julie Coleman, who has cancer. Jerry Savuto, who has cancer in McKinney, formerly of Muleshoe, and her husband Bill Savuto, who has pneumonia right now. Well, it's just about time for us to go on the Muletrain News. So get up there, Little Red. Come on, Corina. Hiya, Arbutus, Andale, Monkey Paw, Julia Gray, Isla, and Olay.
Listen for the Muletrain News program here on Reach Broadband Channel 6, rotating every Monday through Sunday. You can find our last several months' worth of Muletrain News programs archived free of charge on demand. MuleshoeTV.com. Click on the Muletrain News link at the top center of the page.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith. Jesse has all kinds of license plates. Details in a moment on the Sound of Texas.
And the Sounds of Texas are brought to you here on Reach Broadband Channel 6 by Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association with offices in Muleshoe as well as in Morton. They're celebrating over 75 years of rural electrification right here in the Muleshoe area. You can find them online at www.bcecoop.com. And they hope that you enjoy the Sounds of Texas with Tumbleweed Smith.
Most people call me License Plate Jesse, plus other names, you know.
Jesse Perez of San Antonio has thousands of license plates.
It just seemed like the license plate was something that a lot of people like, and they wanted to buy them from me. And so I started sending my license plate. I get them from a lot of collectors, garage sales, flea markets, individuals that say, hey, I collect license plates. And I go buy them. As a matter of fact, I bought some today. I bought a collection of license plates. I have all the years for Texas, and then I have all the states. We have them from rusty to like brand new. Some of them is still in the box, never been even opened. Still in the boxes, brand new.
Some people use the license plates as material to make things.
Arts and craft people, they cut them up to make arts and crafts. And, if I buy them for, say, $1, if somebody say, hey, would you take $1.50? They're gone. I just buy them to resell, or I like them and I keep them, put them in my garage. Except I got so many right now that they don't even fit in the garage no more. They're outside the garage. I got canopies, portables. They're all full of junk. I mean, to get into the garage, you got to take the stuff out to get into the garage.
Some people look for plates from a certain year.
They're looking for example, if you say you had a 1930 Model A, you want some 1930 license plates, and they want to get a pair to register. And then you get the other guys say, well, Jesse, I was born in 1930. I want to get a 1930 plate from every state. And I've helped a lot of people complete what they call a birth year run, one plate from every state.
Jesse doesn't have a website or a store. He sells at swap meets or over the phone.
People call me every day. The wife gets mad at me because so many people call me. I would estimate we're getting from 5 to 25 phone calls a day. Every day, people calling me for license plates or they want information. Or, Jesse, I've got this 1968 license plate. What do you sell it for? They want to know what the price is, and I help everybody.
At swap meets, he takes his big Suburban, which is completely covered in license plate stickers. These are about 1 inch by 2 inches and cover every visible outside surface of the Suburban.
And then I said, you know what? I got a lot of stickers.
Jesse Perez of San Antonio. I'm Tumbleweed Smith with the sound of Texas.
Right now at Frying Cox, 401 South 1st Street, it's buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value of all their flowers and vegetable plants. Now at Frying Cox, again, buy one, get one free on all of their flower and vegetable plants now at Frying Cox here in Muleshoe. Time now for the market report, brought to you today by Stephen DeMint, financial advisor with Edward Jones, right here in Muleshoe in his offices, 104 West 2nd Street. Member SIPC. Call 806-272-4102. Speak with Stephen or branch office administrator Dan Orimpe. They can assist you with any of your financial needs, no matter where you live. The market report was recorded this Friday, June the 12th, 2015 at 12 noon.
This is Dan Orimpe of Edward Jones, member of the New York Stock Exchange Incorporated, bringing you the daily financial market report. U.S. stocks are trading lower with increasing concern that Greece may not reach an agreement with its creditors. In domestic economic news, U.S. producer prices recorded their largest increase in more than 2.5 years in May as the cost of gasoline and food rose. A separate report showed consumer confidence rose more than forecasted in June as Americans were the most upbeat about their wage prospects in 7 years. U.S. bond prices are advancing. So far this morning in the S&P 500, the best performing sector is consumer discretionary, while the worst performing sector is healthcare. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 154 to 17,884. The S&P 500 Index is down 15 to 2,093, and the NASDAQ Composite Index is down 29 to 5,052. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate with 285 million shares traded. Decliners are outnumbering advancers by roughly a 3-to-1 margin. In commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up 47 cents to $1,182. The spot price of silver is down 12 cents to $15.93, and crude oil prices are down 67 cents to $60. In bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.34%. In stocks of local interest, Apple is down $1 to $127.59. ConocoPhillips is down 71 cents to $63.33. Johnson & Johnson is down 89 cents to $98.35. AT&T is down 10 cents to $34.78. Pfizer is down 29 cents to $34.17. Target is down 27 cents to $79.80. Hexcel Energy is down 25 cents to $32.56. ExxonMobil is down $1.03 to $84.06, and Procter & Gamble is down 66 cents to $78.78. This is Dana Rimpey of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice at 104 West 2nd Street in Muleshoe. Daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com.